All right, all right. What do we have here? Excuse me. What's wrong, girl? Say hi. Good morning. You gonna just dump today or what? What we doing today? Nasdaq. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, well, we got the market kind of looking a little heavy, heavy like a Chevy this morning. We got ES sweeping some key areas from overnight. Let's see how we react here off of this previous day low retest. We had a big move down overnight. So I'd expect us, to at least go up to the London highs at 566, 565. We're gonna, as usual, we're gonna start the day out trading the eval. Lost my take profit funded yesterday. I got the other one ready to go. I'm gonna get that activated and set up for Monday. I'm not gonna trade it today. May grab another eval today. As usual, we'll wait a little bit to trade the Lucid funded. We'll try to get some money on those. We are currently, swept pre-market lows, getting pushed right back up into the range. If we can hold this previous day low, might be a good opportunity for longs. ES is still underneath previous day low. Target would be the London highs. All right, if we can get this retest and close above, all right, I'm going for it.
Order filled.
I got my stop here below this candle at 223.75. Target's going to be that London high. We'll call it 550. Looks like we may be coming back down a little bit. I would say, I hope that, yeah, that was on my Tradeify account. Get too big of a move. We could chop. We could, continue this downtrend that we've been having. But again, with this move down overnight, I want to see us retrace a bit. It's a little bit bigger of a stop. About $200 risk on this trade. This is just to get the blood flowing, get the ANSIs out. 15-minute candle did sweep the previous candle's low, pushing back up. So I want to see this push higher, but it may stop us out here.
Stop filled.
Yep, stopped out. Damn NASDAQ. It's alright. Really? We got overnight lows down at 730 or 7,357, and then at NASDAQ it's 29,160. Could sweep the overnight lows and then push higher. If we look at the 4-hour, we are in a solid, downtrend. So any longs here would be, counter trend trading. But see how we react. Look at that. My stop loss acting as support. We are about 4 minutes away from the 15-minute opening range to be set. It's all cloudy out here today, so we got a nice little gloomy Friday. Should we try the long again? I mean, I want it to go up. We could short it down to the overnight lows. I just want to see how we react here. We're tapping off that previous day low again. Look at that. Man, really, we stopped out by 2 points. Alright.
Order filled.
I'm going for it. Stops are at the lows, again, targeting that London high at 550. Like, legit, stopped out. My stop was at 223.75, and we went down to 220. Market was like, that's where we're going to find support, is right there at the stop. It's funny how that works. We'll get some fib geometry going here. If we get stopped out on this, the market's gay. Nah, it'll be okay. If we get stopped out on this, that's fine. We'll reevaluate, reposition. Crazy how that works, huh? Like, you really can't like write a better joke than that. See, if I would have had my stop at the lows, we would have been in this position still, but didn't like how wide that stop was if I had done that. All right, Bulls, we just gonna fuck around here, or what are we doing? Just can't hold anything. Said, nah, it's okay. I mean, that bottom wick on the 15-minute candle, like that should give us some strength, right? Like that shows that buyers stepped in pretty heavily, but it's just a matter of if they hold or not. That is disgusting. Man, what a chop fest, right? Like, down. Hold this low at least. ES showing a little bit more strength, relatively. Not much we can do here. Just wait. Wait. All right. Push higher. Let's take these highs. Let's end the week good. You know, like we're gonna end the week. Where are we at? 127. Like we should at least end in Monday's range, you know? Just back up your path. We'll see. ES looking gorgeous. NASDAQ looking like a you know what. We'll get some FibGeo going on NASDAQ or on ES as well. You can see that pink line there. That's the sweep on the higher time frame. I believe it's on the 15-minute. What the fuck is going on with Twitter? NASDAQ is gonna fucking piss me off. Alright, we got ES poking out the range. We'll see if our strat might play out here to you know, sweep and then push back down into the opening range low. Hi, Paul. I got my little panther on the desk with me. Check this out. Look at this big old guy. This is Paul. That's Paul. All right, well, ES swept the 15-minute opening range high. That candle's pushing back down into the range. Let's see if we take that. See if we might want to take that on the funded accounts to get the strat that I've been trading last couple days. This is fucking nasty, man. So this is what the position looks like for that strategy. You know, like we'll take it on the bar close, stop up there, take profit down there. We got about 20 seconds left. I want to see this. I want to see ES close inside the range. And if it ends up losing, again, that's just more data for me. So let's see. Let's see. All right, we're gonna take it.
Order filled.
Stop at the high. This is on the funded, so you know if this ends up losing, maybe my only trade for the day on these. That's fine. That is A-okay. We're taking the strategy. We're entries at 739. Or what? 7379. Sorry. And if this wants to push back up and just sweep the highs, cool. I'll be able to journal that and see it and learn for next time. But with how weak NASDAQ looks, I suspect that this previous day low is going to be used as resistance. If it's not, let it ride. We'll let it ride. So this is what the position looks like. I got the position tool up. I also like to just see, how much I'm risking. 95, and we're risking about 56 bucks. So see how this plays out. We're still in the long on the Tradeify eval. NASDAQ is just looking super whack. It does look like we're getting some strength here, but we could just, come up, test this, and then reject. All right, looks like we're going to get stopped out on ES. We'll see how it does. It could just be a retest of the high to go lower, or we could just push right there. Nice rejection off the 15-minute opening range high. VIX is still above 20, so that means the volatility is still up there. Come on, ES. Give us that rejection back down into the range. I know you want to sweep those overnight lows. Looking pretty strong here. Looking pretty strong here. Yeah, the 5-minute. The 5-minute on NASDAQ's gross. It looks, a little bit nicer on ES. These lows down here, I think that they want to run these lows before going any higher. Give a little fake out to the upside, trap some bulls, and then run it. But they're holding pretty steady here, so they may want to just push this to the upside and sweep us out. But this double wick right here kind of helps me confirm that the 5-minute play that I was looking at based off the 15-minute opening range. We'll see. NASDAQ struggling to get over previous day low. We did have a nice rejection off the 15-minute opening range high on ES, you know, twice. Let's see if we could just push down from here. Well, all right, let's see if we can just push up from here, because every time I say push down, it goes up. So let's see if we can put, no. All right, this is looking a little rough here. All right, yeah, making higher highs. We're most likely going to get stopped out of this. All right, we gain 1 tick from being stopped out. If it wants to reject here, we need to see it reject now. And if it doesn't reject and it stops us out, then we'll look for the fib geometry play, the break and retest of the 15-minute opening range high. All right, that's looking strong.
Stop filled.
All right, stopped out on the short. At least the Tradeify long is doing okay. We're going to look for the fib geometry now on ES. Would have been a nice long. So with this, we would be looking at, entry at the 50%, stop down here, take profit up at, up at the 2618. May just send it now. I'm only down $59 on the fundeds. We're up significantly on this long on the Tradeify eval. We'll let that go. So this position here, if we do get the retracement, would be a nice confluence of the 15-minute opening range high retest, retest previous day low, and the 50% entry for the fib geometry play. It'd be something I'm interested in taking. Hourly's looking nice. 4 hour looking like it wants to, we might push. That 2618 is lining up with the 20 SMA on the 4 hour. Excuse me. So our entry on this would be at 387.25. I'm going to get my limit order set there. Again, we're going in with one micro, risking about $93. So if this one loses, we'll be down 240 or 140 on the day. And then 729 would be the target, and that would make 208. So let's see if we can get ourselves a little entry here to catch this fib geo. And if anything, we might not come all the way down to this 387. We might just come down to the previous day low. And it's looking very strong though. Like it looks like we just want to pop, you know. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. We got NASDAQ coming up to that 550 level. Currently up about 200 points on the Tradeify account.
Order filled.
All right, I took that on the Tradeify account. That was about 204 points. I exited at 515. So I mean, I'm not going to be upset about a 204 point trade. You know, that's really good. ES, I mean, this is just flying. My original, analysis was taking out the London highs on ES and Nasdaq. I followed that on my Tradeify account. Took a little bit of a different approach on the funded accounts to test out that 15-minute opening strategy that I've been kind of forward testing. That's okay. We took a small loss on the fundeds. I mean, 59 bucks, it's not bad. Could be worse. Just give us some kind of retrace, Give us some kind of retrace to enter. Moving up the entry to 591 on the fib geometry play for ES. We got NASDAQ lining up pretty well for the fib geometry with the in line with the 15-minute opening range high. Could see, retrace down there and then push back up. But this is comical on NASDAQ. We literally got stopped out by 2 points and then it just, it reversed. So this trade that I took on my Tradeify account was a $408 trade, but the first trade lost us $204. So we made it back plus some, but I mean that's a damn good trade right there. 200 points. I am not going to get upset about that. $15-minute. Yeah, it looks like we're going for the London highs. On both indices. The new hourly candle opened up, so we closed over the 20 SMA and just pushed up. So, we could just see it move up to these highs. We're about 6 points away on ES. We are about 70 points away on NASDAQ. There's that pop up to the London highs. I'm going to take this buy limit off on the fib geometry play because we're pretty overextended up into the fib extensions now. We'll see what we do from here. We hit the 550 and the 416 on ES. So there's London highs. Or basically my take profit was at 550. ES did run London highs. So the analysis was there. The analysis was definitely there. We just executed on the wrong side of the move on ES. That double sweep though was pretty convincing. But that lower low or higher low right here, I was at break even. We could have closed it out and just waited, but that's why you put the risk on. Nice, you got a win. There's London highs on NASDAQ. We at least want to see a retest of this 30-minute opening range high at 405. We got the moving averages crossing up on the 1 minute. We're almost to the 200 SMA on the 15-minute. 5-minute, we're coming together. So if we do get this 50% retracement, it might be a good entry long, and then just using the stop loss, moving the stop loss up from the third anchor point to the previous candle that was below, or the candle that was below the 20 SMA, but then pushed up and closed above it. That way, we're limiting our risk a little bit. Would want to see a little bit of a retracement because we're just moonshotting here. Okay. Well, we got that nice pump this morning. Bias was correct again, like I said. Executed on the incorrect side on ES. That's fine. You live and you learn, right? I mean, even right here on this pullback, you know, it's hindsight right now, but long. Where was my target? London highs at 7,416. Look at that. 44 points on ES on that move that I was looking at taking originally. That's okay. See, we could try the short down to the 50% as well. Because that would be the 50% of the swing pretty much. But we'll see how we end up closing here. If we get some more confirmations, I may try it. Just going to put this on the chart because, you know, if we're expecting a retracement down to the 50%, you know, I want to start looking at playing those moves because the risk up here is little. You know, we're looking at like a 6-point risk. If we're waiting for our buy limit to get filled down here, you know, might as well try to catch some of that move. So we'll see how it works. This is just theoretically. I'm not entering that. Do 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 do. If we hit this 2.6, well, we basically did hit the 2.618. So I'm going to take that fib geometry off the entry at least because I don't, you know, once it hits TP1, which is the 2.618, we can kind of do anything from there. And, you know, we could pull back all the way to the 50%. We could just keep ripping. So let's see how we react here. We got the moving averages about a cross up on the 5-minute. 15-minute, you know, we're pushing up to that 200, but you see how far away these are? We need to see some kind of retracement so that this gets sucked up all the way back into the 200 so that we have those cross to the upside. And the market doesn't like space. It does not like space. So we'll see how we play out here. If this is just going to be a trend day, you know, this is not a good day to try to short and do like, you know, how I had the previous position and do something like this, trying to target lows. We would need to see a clear shift in market structure for us to consider any shorts at this point. But I'm not going to be upset. You know, that we have a $60 loss on the funded. That's no big deal. We can get that back. We caught 200 points on the eval. I mean, if you get upset about that, I'm talking to myself. If you get upset about that after losing $60, then I gotta reevaluate some stuff. How you guys doing in the chat though? You guys green today? 3 views. Who's the third viewer? I know my 2 viewers. Who's the third one? Shout out to that third viewer. But yeah, if y'all enjoy the content, I know we're a small channel. I've said this before, but I'm not really looking to grow into a big streaming channel. I mainly do these for my own trading psychology and betterment of how I look at the charts, how I enter positions, because you trade a little differently when you got eyes on your charts. When you got eyes on your executions, you got eyes on your live profit loss. But if that's what happens, it's what happens. If people enjoy my streams and it turns into something bigger, then so be it. But I'm just here for a good time and a long time. Plan on getting successful enough with my trading to supplement my income. Continuing to work and just save to get to the point where I don't have to work anymore. But that's end goal. It's a little bit down the road. All right, looks like we swept something on the higher time frame. If we break this low here, we could see a shift to push back down and retrace a bit. We got lowest close of month sitting above us as well, so we may see price settle around there, considering it's the end of the week. But we still have a lot of time in the day left, so. It's a pretty big rejection there. We did hit the 2618 on the fib geometry extensions. We didn't really get presented an entry other than this first pullback here, which is what the anchor points are for these fib extensions. You can enter off of the first pullback. It's just a little risky because you don't have confirmation that the market wants to go higher. The confirmation comes when price pushes through this 100% level, and generally what we're looking for is a 50% entry of the second pullback. So I mean, you could call this right here, sure, that's a pullback, but my rules for entering the fib geometry say enter on 50% after price breaches that 100% fib extension. We never got that, so I didn't just FOMO into a long there. Green for one account, or green except for one account and eval. Nice. So I'm guessing you made some money on your funded then, or fundeds if you have more than one. If you're green except for one account. Would have been. I mean, we did catch the long on Nasdaq, but you know, again, looking at the chart after the fact, hindsight's 2020. Tested out that new 15-minute, you know, strat that I'm kind of forward testing at this point. Lost a little bit on the fundeds. That's okay. Uh, $60. You can make that back easily. See if we run these highs. If we don't run these highs, we may see a little bit deeper of a retracement. Wow. I looked down for a second and we ran those highs. That's a very strong candle there. Buyers are definitely getting aggressive. Nasdaq hit the 2618 extension as well. We got some equal high, or not, yeah, we got equal highs up here. Let me get these changed. The orange is the previous day's 15-minute opening range. The blue is today's, so let me get these colors changed. We still have this news candle up here from yesterday's PCE. And you know that is it's a long shot to get there today, but you never know. Nasdaq's done wilder things. You know, like this move yesterday off the open is at like over 300 points. So we'll see how we play out. Kind of retesting and rejecting off previous day close on ES. Still got a little bit of ways to go on Nasdaq to get up there. Now, since we're running these fib extension targets, what I may look for is a break and retest of the previous day close. So we broke it, we swept it. If we push higher and then come back down, you can enter along here and then target this 423.6 extension. Maybe something I'll look at on the fundeds just to try to get another trade in here. Not going to force anything, but we'll take it if we get that opportunity. Wow, the 15-minute just went up, and we're basically retesting. That's not yesterday's 15-minute opening range. Did I accidentally delete that? Oh no, it is. No, it isn't. 15-minute opening range from yesterday is down here. Remove that. We are kind of having some trouble getting through that previous day close. You can see we swept this Asia high. Damn, we did sweep. Yeah, we swept Asia highs on ES. So we may see a retracement here. Let's get a fib going from the low to the high. Could see that retracement down into this 50% level. This could have just been a manipulation leg to trap some buyers so that we can, you know, push this down and get a bit of a retracement. We'll see. All right, 5-minute candle closed. We swept that and we pushed below, closed back in or underneath that previous day close. We didn't close in the body of the previous candle, so it's not considered a sweep. You got to close within the body. And we could be looking at a position like this. I'm not entering this just yet. I do want to see that break and retest of previous day close. Otherwise, it'd just be, swing failure. If we just touch it again and then turn right back down. This is one thing that I'm doing really well with recently is just being patient because, before, I say before, like this time last year, I would just enter a buy, with my stop down here without any real confirmation that we're going to be going higher. You can see NASDAQ struggling to get back above that high. We're rejecting again on ES. So we'll wait. That is the 20 SMA on the 4-hour as well. So we could see a rejection, down to that London highs at 416, just a retest of that. Because we didn't really get that retest, We could even look at something like this. We swept something, right? We swept that previous day close. Little fib geometry. It's a little one. But if this just blows through this anchor point and then we run the highs, then we'll be looking for the longs. All right, well, looks like we're struggling a bit here to get back above previous day close. that we swept, doji, or Morningstar, whatever you want to call that, spinning top, and then pushing back down. I want to see us get below this 20 SMA. It is holding its support right now. 5 minute. You see how they're about to cross up? Okay. There's that pop. There's that pop using the 20 SMA as support. We'll leave this on here just for old time's sake. NASDAQ looking weak. ES looking a lot stronger. We are below 20 on VIX, so that, you know, the round numbers on VIX are key levels for that volatility index. I'm liking the shorts here. I am, but you never know. All right, there's that rejection. We are below the 20 SMA on NASDAQ. We just poke below it on ES and see if we can get down to this 100%. All right, we close below on the 1 minute on ES on the 20 SMA. NASDAQ is, you know, pushing below as well. This could just be something to set up, you know, another move up. Bears are having a tough time selling, you know, pushing this back down. So we may see that move up higher today. The daily kind of looks crazy because of all the drawings on my chart. Let's see how they want to react here. Do you want to see this candle close red for lower? That was a nice closure on the 5 minute. Red. Kind of indecisive right now. Okay, there's the 100% on ES. See if we can get a little fib geometry action going here. May end up, getting hurt on this, but that's okay. So we got entry would be like around 428. I'm just gonna get that on the chart, and then I'll move it if we end up going lower. But I just want to get 428. I want to get that set up just in case we go back and then pop up there and then reject again. Stop would be just above the previous day close at 735, targeting the 2618. So this is what the position will look like. See how we're pushing lower? Wanted to get that on there just in case we did get that pop up. $426.25 is where the entry for short would be now. $426, or yeah, 7426. We'll just be patient. We'll just wait. $425 would be the entry now. See if we can get ourselves tagged in here. Man, is today the day that fib geometries is not going to retrace to give us entry? All right, now we're looking at 424.25 as entry. This may not come back up. Well, there's that retest of London highs, like I was saying, at 7416. Yeah, we're not going to get entry on this. Kind of fucking annoying. Like I wanted to go short, and I'm just watching this right now, just free fall. This 398 level is a 50% retracement of that 15-minute move. Damn, man. Fucking crazy. See, and I like, look at this. Like, what? Whatever. All right, there's a bit of a retracement back up.
Order filled.
All right, we're tapped into the short. If this doesn't end up working out, then I am most likely just going to call it a day. We put the take profit at 400 because that is right around that area of the 15-minute swings, 50% retracement down there. So if I'm wrong on this, then we'll call it a day. Come back next week, swing it harder. Give it another shot. Retesting that 20 SMA on the 1 minute. Let's see a retracement. I gotta go say bye to my fiance real quick. Be right back. All right, we're back. We are in this position. Let's see how this plays out. See my target of 400, the swing of the 15-minute, the fib on the 15-minute swing. The 50% is down here at 398.25. I have my take profit set at 400 because the round numbers are generally where the market can find support and reverse. So we could target this 2618. That's the fib level or the fib extension for fib geometry. But I want to see us get this retracement down to that 50% of that 15-minute swing to get us some support to go back higher. Let's see what VIX is doing. VIX is pushing back up. Plus, that target down at 400 is a little bit better of risk to reward than the 2618. Sure, that's 1-to-1, but down here at 400, that is a 1-to-5 or 1.5-to-1 risk to reward. Sorry. thinking about moving my stop down to this high here at like the 724, but we know how that goes with the first position that I took on NASDAQ. Could just sweep that and come back down. So we'll trust the fib geometry setup. That's what the setup is. That's what I took. Stops above previous day close. See how we play out. If it loses, it loses. We'll be down probably about 110 bucks on this on the funded. So that's okay. We're kind of back at entry, hanging out here. I want to see this push up any higher. I'm gonna be on for about 10 more minutes. Then I gotta go get ready for work. I'm gonna leave this position on, even if it doesn't resolve itself by the time I'm done with the stream. See how it plays out. Not looking too hot. Not looking too hot at all. Oh man, what a day! What a day! It's not how I want to, start a Friday off on the fundeds. Hopefully, we end this position green. Um, we'll see though. Yeah. We are in the last 10 minutes of the hourly candle, so sometimes we see a surge of volume come in that last 10 minutes. Had to go blow my nose real quick. All right, well, we're back slightly green. That move up right there technically was like, a retrace to the 50% of that 5-minute swing. We close back below the 20 SMA on the 1 minute. You can see these lows get ran at 14. And then back at, back down at 409. See, I was looking at the 30-minute opening range high. That's sitting at 405. I think I'm going to move my take profit up to there. Just because we could, come down, tap that level, and then just bounce. Come on, get below that 14. Get back below that 14. All right, well, we hit 14.75. Can we get below that 14? There's that 14. Now let's see that 409 ran down to 405, which is a 30-minute opening range high. Now, I am moving my stop down to this 428 level because if we come back up and run that high, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. I may regret doing that, but I mean, I just want to limit my risk because if we push this high, then, you know, we might just come back to, actually, no, I'm going to put it up here at this wick. 432. So I was seeing like a little fib or a SBS setup that could be playing out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You push up, sweep that, and then come back down. Man, like, can we not get some fucking follow through to the downside? Holy shit. We're gonna leave the position as it was. If it loses, and it's full loss, then so be it. I don't like the way this is moving. I just don't want to put my stop here, get swept out, and then it, you know, downturn and go back to our take profit. See, because this is what could play out here. Whoops. Yeah. We do have a nice top wick on the 1 hour. Yeah, as soon as you enter a trade, it rockets the other way. It sort of feels like sometimes, huh? See how this plays out, though. We are about to open the new hourly candle, so we could see, you know, a bit of a move down with that top wick that we saw. You know, move down and then push back up. Archer. All right, let's see how this new hourly candle opens. All right, y'all. You see the trade? We're gonna let this run to take profit or stop loss. I'm not gonna close it because I don't like how price is moving or how I feel price is moving. I'm going to trust the setup. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's 2 L's on the day. If we lose on the funded accounts, we'll come back next week and get that back. We'll reevaluate things. We won't switch the strategy. We'll just take it on the chin and move on. So I'm going to call it there. We did catch a nice trade on the Tradeify eval on NASDAQ. We lost the first trade on it for 204, and then we won the second trade and made it all back and an additional $200. So that's a good day there on the eval. If this is, red day on the funded, small red day, the goal is to just live to trade another day on these funded accounts and not try to make it all back in one day, or try to hit the payout target in one day. So I'm going to call it there. If you're green, lock it out. If you're red, manage your risk and only trade what you're willing to lose.